In this video, we will be learning about the basics of navigation within viewports. By the end of this video, you will get familiar with how to use the 3 mouse clicks to select, pan, zoom, orbit, and change the style of viewports. Let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back. So in this second lesson, we are going to focus on selecting and navigating our scenes. Let's say I make these basic objects and shapes in Rhino. Now the question arises, how do I interact with it? In order to view it from various angles or simply select it, what can I do to navigate through it? For this, open the resource file given to you for this module. You can pause the video here in case you haven't opened it yet. Let's maximize our perspective viewport and try and navigate through our model. So, while using your mouse, you ideally use the left, the right, and the center mouse button. The left mouse button is mainly used to select objects and pick their locations besides initiating a command, like this. And the right mouse button is mainly used to navigation. Besides completing a command, it also functions as the enter key to repeat the last command. And the middle mouse down button is mainly used for context windows and also for navigation. So, what is the main aim of navigation? To comfortably control and look around your model, right? Remember the times when you get zoomed in too much into SketchUp models? Doesn't that take away from your experience? So before we continue, I want you to think what are the ways you interact and navigate with your model. Well, in all 3D softwares, you either zoom in, zoom out, select, pan along, or orbit around to interact with the space you are modeling in. So, how do you do this? You can zoom in and out using your scroll wheel, or press Ctrl button and right click your mouse button to enable zoom in and out. Simply move your mouse to zoom in and out once you have pressed both the keys. Sometimes, if you are too zoomed out on the screen, remember to type zoom in the command line, then simply create a window where you want to zoom to. This you can do by using your left mouse button and just simply create a window where you want to zoom in. To select anything, just press your left mouse key or select a window. Just like AutoCAD, you have two gestures for selection window. First one is to use left to right selection window, which does this. And the second way to go about it is to create a right to left selection window, which does this. To pan, simply hold the right mouse button along with Shift. Now, if you move the mouse like this, you will be able to pan around the content that is visible on the screen. To orbit, use your right mouse button and move the mouse to orbit around the center of the viewport. One thing to note here is that it works in the perspective mode only and not in the parallel projections like top, front or right view in the case that we see here on the screen. So those are the most used ways of navigating. When I started modeling in Rhino, one thing that stood out for me was the use of viewports. One question that I get is, what is the use of having different views of the same thing? Why not just use one? This, at any given point, provides you with a holistic idea of what you are creating in the modeling space. When we model our geometries in the upcoming modules, using these viewports will help you think of plans, sections, elevations as one rather than separate drawings of the same model. With Rhino, you can open an unlimited number of viewports. Each viewport has its own projection, view, construction plane, and grid. If a command is active, a viewport becomes active when you move the mouse over it. If a command is not active, you must click in the viewport to activate it. Most viewport controls can be accessed through the viewport pop-up menu. To open the pop-up menu, right-click the viewport title or click the small triangle on the viewport title. The last two important aspects which you will be encountering using viewports are the viewport projections and type of views. Viewport projections basically refer to the nature of viewport. Remember learning about one-point perspective, two-point perspective, and parallel projections while drawing? It all has to do with the finishing point. The same way, viewports can help you choose between them, as each facilitate a different purpose. I usually get amazing exploded views out of it using the fun point perspective projection. You can toggle between them by going to properties without selecting any objects and then go to viewport projection. In this drop-down menu, you will find those three options. I will leave it to you to explore and try to discover things throughout the course. That brings us to the type of views. I usually make use of these three views. First is the wire display mode, like the one that we are using right now. Super light to navigate, and it is usually used when your file becomes too heavy to edit. Second is the shaded view. Here the object starts looking solid as the surfaces are visible. This helps us understand the volume of objects while modeling. The third is the rendered view. We will explore this in detail in module 2. This looks the best, but it makes the file heavy while we are modeling things in our 3D space. There are more display modes available. As you can see here, there is also a ray traced mode, ghosted view, and there's artistic view. These have their own pros and cons, but for now we will stick to the initial three ones as we discussed earlier. I invite you to play around and see the different advantages and disadvantages that they have. But for learning the basics of Rhino, you will mostly be using display modes like wireframe, shaded, and sometimes rendered modes as well. In the next lesson, we will be understanding the objects in Rhino and what is the geometrical toolset available in the software.
Comment below your observations and queries. Go check out the next video to learn 2D drafting within Rhino. Stay tuned to 1:2x and also subscribe to the channel to get notified for more exciting tutorials.